Toonami Studios. So Batman 3 Jokers has come to a finale. Issue 3 has just dropped. I've been very lukewarm on this series overall for a few reasons. I mean, it's 4 years delayed. Was it that worth it? I don't think so. But it's out. And I'll say, honestly, I did enjoy this issue a lot more than I enjoyed the last couple. I think there was a concise, actual story in here, and it felt like the last two compared to this one were a lot of padding for time. Like, maybe if this was like a one-shot that was more pages or something, it would have been a lot more concise and interesting. But I did really enjoy this book. This finale really sold me on what this premise was trying to be and how Jeff pitched it, I do believe. And it's this idea, like, we're going to talk about the trauma the Joker gave to these three characters, but we're also going to explore how he's going to pull off, like, the greatest prank kind of thing, you know, towards Batman, where it's like, I'm going to give you everything you've ever wanted, and you're going to hate me for it, but you're going to be happy because of it. And I think that's a really cool idea, something I actually thoroughly enjoyed. And in this issue, too, I thoroughly enjoyed how they handled the Jason Todd character. In the past couple, I don't think it was treading new ground or doing anything really interesting, but I like how they handled it here. And if you look at this as a Jason Todd story, which I don't think any of us were doing when this first came out, there's a genuinely good story in here. And I think it's pretty cool, actually, to say, because I was really upset with how the first couple issues of this book were handling, but I'm sold now. I think it was really cool. So we get this idea, they're investigating the Joker. They now, like, there's 3 Jokers. They're trying to make some more. What's going on here, and how is this going to play out? And I like this dynamic at the beginning of the book, where we're seeing Jason is still like, yeah, there's 2 now, Bruce. If you recall, I killed one, and I'm going to go kill some more. Like, I'm going to take them all down because you are too cowardly to do it. And they get into a yelling match, and I really like this idea that they're still pissed at each other. I like the idea that Jason still hates Bruce. I think that's something you should play up a lot and do more stories with, just because, like, you could do the fact where he heals and becomes the anti-hero, but Jason is better when he's opposite or opposed to the rest of the Bat family. And I like the idea that Bruce is like, just stop. Like, you don't do this, Jason. We don't got time for this. And of course, it's Barbara who's kind of telling them, like, you guys just come together and we'll get through this. And then whatever the hell happens later, happens later. It's not going to matter. I like that. So they have their conversation. Bruce just leaves to go check out Belle Reve's prison again. And he goes to Joe Chill's quarters he's let in. And he finds these notes addressed to Bruce Wayne. And there's a lot of them. And they're just... It's a very interesting dynamic because it makes me think, I thought originally, oh, the Joker planted these. But he didn't. He didn't plant them. And I'm like, that's even cooler that Joe Chill actually wrote these. And I think it's pretty exciting. So we cut to Batman's talking to, like, I think it was the warden of the prison. They're just like, no, he didn't write these when he knew he was going to die, Batman. Like, Joe Chill's been writing these pretty much since he got here. Like, he's wanted to apologize for what happened to Bruce Wayne and what he did to Bruce Wayne for years, and he's always wanted to be a part of that. And it's just like, that is such a cool idea. I really like the way that's handled, because I always like the idea that Joe Chill's just some random guy. You know, some people make it that the Joker killed the Waynes or anything, but I like that it's just a random guy, and Joe Chill's like, I was just angry and bitter towards the world at that point, and I didn't know they had a son. I didn't see Bruce with them, and I love that angle. It's such a powerful, impactful event for the Batman character, because he's not getting the revenge he so desperately wanted to become the man he is today. It's just slowly fading away. I think that's a really cool angle that I'm so happy they played up. He does find one note that's obviously written by the Joker. It's got, like, admin to, like, seeing the Mask of Zorro movie. So our Trinity, I'm going to call them a Trinity while they go to investigate. And there's just a lot of pages that have very few dialogue, and we just see, like, oh, here's the criminal Joker, he's taking control. A bunch of Jokers are attacking Barbara and Jason, they're all fighting, and it's okay. Like, there's a lot of filler in here, too. I do think, more than any other issue, you can see how some of Jason Fabok's artwork is a little rushed. I don't even want to say a little rushed. It just looks a little less pristine than we've seen in previous issues. I think because this is the one they probably had the most trouble getting made, just because, do you put it in continuity? Do you not? Where exactly does this issue fit in? And just sometimes I've just noticed, like, it's a little easier to just kind of, like, slowly, like, fade and just not as detailed in some moments. But we see that the criminal Joker has kidnapped Joe Chill. He's hanging him over a vat of acid because the idea comes into play that he wants to make the ultimate Joker, the Joker that'll make it mean something to Batman. And I think that's a pretty interesting angle. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Like, the Joker being a mysterious character means more to Batman because Joe Chill is a mysterious stranger. So I think that's kind of a cool idea. But, they just managed to they take him down, obviously, but we get like this clip that, because we saw the Joker recording something in the previous issue, we do see like the kind of confession of Joe Chill where he's literally breaking down like, I knew who they were, I knew what they were trying to become and what they did, but I didn't know is they were trying to save Gotham. And I set the events in motion that destroyed Gotham pretty much, and I ruined a young man's life, and I'm like, fuck, that is powerful. That is such an interesting, poetic movement for this character, and something I'm so happy that Jeff had them just like said, no, this is going to be about the Jokers. That's the title of the book, but it's a Joe Chill story. We're going to see what happens with Joe Chill, where he's ended up, and I think that's such a powerful, interesting thing. Barbara meets the comedian Joker again. He brings out the camera and he's like smiling, Jason and Barbara, they're fighting their way through all these Jokers. And as that's happening, Bruce and the criminal? I think it's the criminal. Again, it's hard to keep track. They're fighting on top, like your classic platform, just like, don't kill Joe Chill, don't drop him into the acid. We see some stuff. Jason gets shot by one of the Jokers. Barbara takes him down. I think that's pretty cool. And as Bruce and the criminal are fighting, they just kind of like spark up flames and the whole place bursts up into flames. And I like this too. It's still pretty cool. Like, they're having a really nice fight. This is kind of where the artwork kind of goes a little like less clean for me, just because it looks a little more rushed. And I don't know why it looks rushed to me. It just doesn't have like the same aesthetic or the same energy that we've seen in previous issues. So it's fine. Joker cuts the wire that's holding Joe Chill. He's about to drop. Batman saves him, breaks him out of the building, and just takes him to the alleyway. And he's like, I know who you are. Like, I knew what happened there. If you're going to kill me, just kill me because I deserve it, and I truly am sorry for what I did to you. And of course, the Rubble's coming down to crush him, but Batman saves him again. And I love I love this moment where it's just like the 3 panels where Joe Chill's just like, thank you. And it's just like a blank panel of Batman saying nothing, and he's like, you're welcome. I think there's something powerful in both the characters of Joe Chill in Bruce in that moment, because Bruce is just like, I'm still going to be the good guy. I'm not going to let you die just because of who you are and what you've done to me. I'm going to be the hero. And then we get oh man, I keep messing them up. Then we get the criminal Joker who's like, that's great. You guys are going to die. I'm going to take you down. And then blam, right in the head. The comedian Joker kills him. And he's like, all right, we're done here. Batman, I'll go to prison now. And it's just like powerful stuff. And you think that's going to be the kind of the end crux of the book, but it's really not. We get some great like kind of last moments here. Jason and Barbara have some nice moments, and I like that Jason kind of wants to get with Barbara because he's like, you could probably help me heal. Like, you're the one person I think that could genuinely help me heal and become a better person. But she's like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think we're gonna go down that road. And he just walks away slowly to figure himself out. And he doesn't come back. And I like that Commissioner Gordon comes up to her and is like, I'm okay if you facing the Joker and dealing with Batman, but don't get involved with Red Hood. And she's like, yeah, Dad, I get it. And it's like, okay, I've never really thought of Jason and Barbara as like a couple. And I kind of like that idea that, Dick grew up to love her and has always respected her and wanted to be with her, and they got together. But maybe like Jason secretly wanted to be with her too. That's kind of a cool angle I'd be on board for. I don't have any problem with that. And then we get the police escort vehicle of Batman and Joker inside. And this is kind of where like I really like what the story did and went in a really cool direction. The comedian Joker's like, this worked perfectly. I love how everything turned out today. It went exactly according to my plan. I wanted the criminal to think Joe Chill was going to be the better Joker, the best Joker, to have it finally matter to you that there was a Joker. It's going to be personal. But it's like, no, that was never going to happen. It all worked out into place. You see, with this happening, this makes it better. I've broken the pain. You're never going to actually have your closure. You're never going to actually have your revenge towards Joe Chill. because he's a crippled old man. You saw what happened to him. You saw what he was. And now you're going to have that hole in your heart filled. It's not going to feel good. It's going to be because of me. And I'm going to take the place of the Joe Chill in your heart because I'm an even better Joker than the rest of them. I healed your greatest wound, so I could be your greatest pain. I love that a lot. You don't really hear Batman respond to that, but we kind of cut back to Joe Chill in the hospital. He's on his deathbed, and Bruce is there with the letters, and he's just holding Joe Chill's hand, and he just passes away. And I'm like, that's powerful. I like that, because that's just like, again, that's Bruce getting some closure he never really got with his parents, and now he's getting it here with a man who feels guilty for everything he's done in his life. That is really cool. You can't tell me that is powerful, because that's a moment where you're just like, not a lot of writers would choose to go down that well. And it works so well that they did. I think it's very powerful, very intense. It means a lot to just somebody who casually reads Batman. Like, I'm not the biggest Batman fan, but that's just something that, like, there's some really interesting closure and ideas being presented here where he's literally just paying respect to the man who ruined his life because the man didn't know the outcome it would have. He set Gotham's terrible phases into motion. I think there's something powerful there. It's so unique, so interesting. Then we cut to Alaska. I guess Bruce is just trying to get away, but then we get some stuff where he's talking to Alfred about, I know who the Joker is, and we'll come back to that. But before that, we get this letter that Jason leaves to Barbara. It's like, dear Barbara, I want to change. I'm going to do what I can to do that, even if I have to travel the world to find that out. I don't know what you want from me. But I've always admired you, Barbara. I love your strength, your determination, and I know killing him was a mistake, something I shouldn't have done, and I do think we'd be good together. So if that means giving up Red Hood and becoming something else, or not even being anything, I'll just be Jason, I think there's something we could do there, and I hope you give me the chance one day, or you try to. And I'm like, that's cool. And she doesn't read it, falls off the wall, lands on the floor, starts getting brushed away by the janitor, and you're like, okay, that's pretty dark. That's a cool angle to take with Jason. I kind of like it. I actually really like it, because it's like, she went with Dick, which we all know, we all love. I think Dick and Babs is a good team, but Jason's never going to get his chance to heal. I like that he says his piece to Barbara, but she doesn't get to hear it. I think that's something pretty powerful. Again, it's just really powerful stuff, and a characteristic you probably wouldn't expect from Jason Todd. And I think that's kind of what Jeff has been doing a lot of in this book, just showing us angles that we weren't really sure of before, and now we're getting it here, and it's pretty damn cool. Like, it's really interesting and unique. So we cut back to Bruce talking to Alfred, and they're just like, man, we'll never really know who the Joker is, will we? And I love that Bruce is like, not to sound too Batman-y here, but I figured out the first week we met, like, I knew who it was. And we get some interesting ideas here that it's the Killing Joke Joker, taking back that Killing Joke story, and we get some kind of like a little twist. I wouldn't want to call it a twist. I just want to call it like a really good idea where the wife of the character that we know becomes Joker in the Killing Joke talks to the police, and she's like, I don't know what he's going to do. Like, he's been really crazy lately, everything going on. I want to leave him. I don't know what he's going to do to our baby. I can't stay here and be a part of that. And he's like, she's talking to the cops, and they're like, okay, well, we got some money together. Maybe we can help you out of this situation. And they go talk to the guy who's going to become Joker, and it's like, your wife she died. Like, that classic scene we've seen in The Killing Joke, but secretly she was alive. And she went to go live on her life somewhere else, and she had her son, and she raised her son. And the important thing is, the Joker's name can never be revealed, because if it is, this family is going to lose everything they had, and they're gonna be hounded by the press to be these people they're not. And I'm like, that is kind of a brilliant twist for that idea of the Killing Joke, just because now it's like he's conditioned to believe one thing. It's not true. If they ever wanted to bring this up again, I don't think they should, but I really like that. I love the last line of this book where it's like, the Joker's name isn't what's important. It never has been. It's like, quit trying to figure out who the Joker is or why he matters, because that isn't what matters. What matters is he's just a lunatic. And even the comedian Joker's like, yeah, I'm just the wild card here. He's trying to have a plan. This criminal guy's trying to have a plan. That's not the Joker way, dude. We're just crazy loose cannons. But if he found out that his wife and his son were alive, that gives him more depth than he deserves. And you're like, that's so cool. That's really vindictive of the Joker, where it's just like, yeah, the fact that there isn't anything connecting him to anything else, that's very much the Joker. But giving him more depth, that kind of adds humanity to him and takes away from the element of the Joker. It's kind of meta in the way that Joker needs to remain untouched by backstory. I think that's cool. But the fact that we have this moment referencing the Killing Joke, that we didn't see all the things happening in the Killing Joke, I think it's really cool. What a great ending for this story. I thoroughly enjoyed this ending. I think it's well written, well planned out. The artwork is great. I mean, I was very skeptical the first 2 issues, but this brought me back full circle and told a really cool story. I enjoyed it a lot. I actually think this was a really fun read, something I'm going to pick up the hardcover of when they do like the deluxe edition, just because I think it works a little better than the Killing Joke. Like, I've never been a fan of the Killing Joke that much, but just this story, how it deals with Barbara and how it deals with Jason, I think is something really powerful. So Batman 3 Jokers, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. Yes, that is what it's getting. It's worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.